Welcome everyone, today I'm showing you my Lightning build, a high voltage setup designed for massive AoE damage, great clear speed and rapid movement. The core of the build focuses on multiple ways to trigger Lightning Strike through a combination of auras, passives and abilities. While the constant proc melts screens, the real heavy hitter is Tempest, thanks to its passive ability effect. It's currently dropping 38k crits every second, while buffed by Valor blessing for that cast movement and critical strike boost. Alright guys, I think it's time to deep dive into the build. I'm actually very excited to deep dive in that build in particular. It's not like the previous builds that I've showcased was not that great, but this one for me it's kind of special. So the main ability we're using is Lightning Bolt, and the whole idea of the character is to make as much as possible lightning strikes. And for those of you who doesn't know what is lightning strike, it's a strike that comes from the sky and hit an enemy. And it can be procced by a lot of sources. For example, Lightning Evoker, which whenever we use a not channeling ability, it will have chance to strike. Then we increase the strike chance with Lightning Bringer. Then from the Storm Nimbus, we also have a chance to strike once again with Lightning Strike. Then we also use Cyclone, which also have another percentage chance to strike with Lightning Strike. And we have a passive hit due to Tempest, and I'm gonna go in a moment explain. And actually I can tell you from now that the Tempest is the biggest hitting ability with the biggest single number of damage, currently around 38k crits. So I'm gonna go in a moment into Tempest. So how does the thingy works? So we start the fight with Cyclone, and then I'm spamming Lightning Bolts, and then wherever we are close to the enemy, Tempest will occur and hit the target for lots of damage. So with that being said, as I said before, we want to make sure that we can have as much as possible chance to cast these lightning strikes, and the way to do it is with all of these talents investment. Now further into it, the second most important things in this build is Rage. I was between Warfare and Rogue. If I picked up Rogue, then I was going to be more like about to invest in crit, but honestly, in the next patches, I think we're gonna have so much room for improvement and crafting system that's gonna be very easy for us to craft crit, so that will be fixed pretty easy in my opinion. But Rage, it's kind of more difficult to gain currently, so I decided to go Warfare. So basically I pick up everything related to Rage, currently increasing with 270% more rage effect, and the spell rage provides us total spell damage and cast speed per stack of rage, and now with increased effect we're receiving a lots of cast and total spell damage, resulting really big numbers. And now for Tempest, the way why we do so much damage is discharge. Once we hit 50 amplify, it starts doing a passive damage around the character, and this damage is increased by amplify stacks, so we make sure that we make as much as possible amplify stacks. Currently at 150 stacks, it does pretty good acceptable DPS. Now the next thing, if we would like to do as much as possible damage with lightning strikes, I have to reserve my energy as much as possible. As we can see from the talent reservation, lightning strike deals X amount of the reserved energy as additional lightning damage, which further boosts the DPS. So with that being said, I make sure that I reserve as much as possible energy. We're using 2 auras, Storm Nimbus and also Battlefield Awareness, with combination with Arcane Influx that also reserve 10% of the energy and gain us a pretty decent amount of energy regeneration. So with every single build it will vary. It depends how fast you're casting Lightning Bolt, how much free energy you have, and how much energy regeneration you currently have. So like I said before, every single build progression will be different, so you have to like calculate it what is comfortable for you. For me, I have no problem to spam lightning bolt because I make sure that I have enough energy regeneration, and I also reserved the right amount of energy. The rest, I think it's self-explanatory. For example, storm guidance, because lightning bolt is a projectile, we're increasing the projectile damage. Then from warfare we have one more talent, which is marksmanship, another projectile damage boost. The more like special one, it's like Heart of Battle, which provide us with lots of increased damage based on how much enemies are around us. For clearing, this is pretty decent. I definitely recommend it. And now, not on the last place, I was very worried that because I have 2 blessings, and if I activate, for example, Valor, which I've invested to provide me with crit and crit multi with increased duration and movement speed and cast speed, that whatever I use Valor, the passive damage from Tempest will not activate. Well, that's not true. The passive damage from Tempest, it's activated and it hits even if we have active blessing, so that was really huge of a relief. Further into the build, I'm gonna try to gather as much as possible crit and crit multi, resulting even further more boosting the DPS of the character. Now, related to gear, I was surprised how good synergy we have with 2 daggers. The daggers that I have are pretty nice, increase lightning damage and cast speed, and also crit, one of them, which result even more cast per second. In my opinion, they work even better than two-handed stuff. So basically, this is the character. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wish you to be happy, I wish you to be healthy, and I hope we'll see you guys in the next video.